Well, Mr. Teare, let's deal with the nuts and bolts. And I suppose the big headline-grabbing item will be that we're spending our reserves. You could say that we're skiing, spending the kids' inheritance. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't. What we are doing is by using our reserves, we are investing in the future, their future. We are keeping the economy buoyant. We are creating employment, especially through the new announcement I made today about giving an incentive to employers to take on additional staff. And I've just come from a reception where I was talking to a business person and they said that they were going to take on 3 people this summer. They're now inclined to take on 5 because of the extra incentive. And I think that's got to be good news for the economy, but also good news for our young people.
Just put it into actual numbers. How much are we spending from the reserves? Can you give us that figure?
Well, this year it will be £55 million we're drawing down from reserve, and over the following 2 years there's going to be another 37 million, so it's 92 all told.
So in Tynwald this morning they were saying that's 15% this year reserves. All told it'd be 25% of reserves by the time the 4-year plan finishes. Do you concur with those numbers and percentages?
I concur that there'll be 75% left by the time we're finished, and that's got to be good, hasn't it?
Well, we're spending reserves. At the end of the day, that's there for rainy days, people may say. But is this the rainiest point now, do you think, we're going to be in?
It's one of the rainiest days I've been around. I've been around 3 full turns of the economic cycle, and I suppose you'd expect that with the lines and pink hair I've got. But overall, we are in unusual and very challenging times. What I want to, and what I wouldn't want to be part of, is a slash and burn policy. We need to rebalance the economy on a gradual basis, and that's exactly what we're doing. There will be difference of opinion. Some will say we could have done it quicker, others will say you're being too quick. But overall, judging by the comments I've received so far, I think I've got it right.
People going onto the unemployment list, of course, is going to alter the way the money is leaving the government as well, isn't it? I mean, in itself, the government is cutting back on its employees quite a bit. You see that continuing throughout the economy for some years to come?
Well, I think that there will be a redistribution of labour from the public sector to the private sector, because the government will need to reduce its headcount. Now, the extent will depend on the cooperation that we receive from the unions. The government cannot protect jobs on its own. We have to have other people working with us. As a team, we'll be able to manage the transition. And certainly by giving an incentive to employers to take on additional staff, that's going to promote employment.
And employment this time next year, where would it be? Or unemployment level, should I say?
Difficult to say, but we're 2.5% at the moment. I'd be very surprised if it gets significantly worse. But if you have a look at that 2.5%, it's a quarter of the UK level, and it's a tenth of the level of some other countries. So we are doing well. We shouldn't talk ourselves down.
Well, finally then, can you assure people there's nothing else that's hidden in these budget things? Because you quite often hear that there's stealth items that slip through later. Is what you've delivered today everything that's going to come out?
What you see on the outside of the cans, what's inside the tin.